Hello and welcome to the video with me, Winner Android, with another video of Weekly Andrew, in which I kind of only have one anime to talk about this week, considering I just haven't really cared that much about anything this week. Besides the fact I've also been quite a bit of time this week into Devious World in an attempt to try and get as much of it done as possible this week, which I did a pretty good job on. But yeah, go ahead and do that. Talk about Devious World more later once I actually finish the anime, which is Call of the Night. In which, yeah, I'm kind of thinking that this is going to be my favorite anime of the season, easily. Considering the fact I'm pretty sure I know what rating I'm going to be giving this thing by the time it ends, considering you only really rate things when they end. I'm pretty sure I already know what I'm going to be rating it already, despite only having 4 episodes currently. And also, first episode there. That's a little bit of fan service that we got there and everything, which, yeah. That is kind of the first time I think fan service has actually gotten me to react in any way at all. And if it's not the first time, it's just been a very long time since fan service actually managed to do that. Considering for me, most fan service in anime is, well, just fan service. I don't care about it. But this first time I feel like it's actually gotten some kind of reaction out of me. That wasn't negative in any way. Though I'm pretty sure the main reason why I did react to it is just because of how smooth the animation there is, I think. More than anything else. But, yeah. That was quite nice, and I think I probably, when I was watching the first episode, went back and rewatched another 2 times after I saw it. Yeah, pretty good. Though the quality of this isn't that great, considering it's a GIF. So, yeah. Also, I'm not even sure if that thing actually falls under fair use, considering the length of that thing itself is under 5 seconds, but it's a GIF and it's being repeated over and over. Does it still fall into fair use or not? I'm honestly not sure. But whatever. I don't personally care. So, next thing, I really kind of want to mention here is for episode 4 here. DDLC kind of made a bit of an appearance there as Doki Doki Suing Club. Yeah, apparently DDLC has made it at this point, considering it's kind of made itself into an animated appearance in an anime as a little parody, I guess. But yeah, there you go. Also, listening closely to it, I think they also did make their own version of the DDLC's music, considering it kind of sounds familiar, but slightly different still. Also, there's one girl in that thing that's just, who is that? Cause, yeah, I don't remember a single green-haired girl in DDLC. Yeah, I don't really know about that. And also, really, one other thing that I kind of really have to mention for this is the opening and ending are great. That's all I can really say. They're great. And it's not very often anime actually has a good opening and ending. Either they're both not really great at all, they're good or something, or at least one of them is good. It's not very often you get both in one anime. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the favorite of the season for me. By far. But yeah, don't exactly have anything else to really say here for Call of the Night, so yeah. I don't have any other anime to talk about either, so I guess I'm just going to go straight to Devious World at this point, in which I went over 2 of the characters, being Celeste and Helen. And, well, starting off with Celeste, of course, and covering kind of summing up her content, in which you get a few choices of a job you can get considering you're homeless there to start off with because you just got laid off. But yeah, the first option there That's basically another FNAF parody there. And then the second one with the executive assistant, it's you basically join the failed cult in which what is currently written that the leader of that cult, which is the only person there, ends up dying after something I'm not going to really mention. Um, yeah, he ends up dying, and then you kind of go on to create the cult yourself and stuff, which everything that's currently available is basically just set up to get that thing going, and nothing else has really been written besides all that. So, next thing is the pizza delivery job, which has a two further choice on where to work when it comes to the pizza. And, yeah, not tons of content there, but still, eh. And then there's also training, which I honestly don't know exactly how to explain it all, but I think the simplest way to put it is that it's basically a corporation that trains people to do jobs like spies and other stuff, I guess. It doesn't really kind of explain everything fully there with what's currently written, I think. But your job itself is basically to deliver stuff to them that they need. And that's basically it there. A good chunk of content, I guess, available for it, but not tons. And then there's also the local TV station job, which literally basically has absolutely nothing there, considering it's literally just set up to a point where you can choose which kind of job you want at the local TV station, in which there's quite a few there, but none of them actually have been written. So yeah, that's basically everything for Celeste done. So moving on to Helen's content, in which she is a teacher. And yeah, got three different schools to choose from. No, there is another that hasn't been written at all, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. But basically, all the content Helen has here is in the Japanese school, in which there's two options pretty quickly that I should get to there on who to visit first once you get to Japan. Katsuko or the principal, in which majority of the content is for Katsuko. And she basically just wants you to make the school more interesting. Okay, make you the principal there, and you she wants you to make the school more interesting. And overall, when it comes to what's available there's a few main routes for the most part, but the majority of it is kind of on a route where you don't do what she actually wants you to do, basically. And yeah, you end up getting turned into Yoko's daughter, which is basically just a near copy of her as a teenager, considering it's her DNA and everything. But yeah, get turned into her daughter after as basically a punishment there, in which after a few events later, you end up getting a twin sister. So, yeah. Surprisingly, that whole path there is very wholesome, which is not something I expected, considering I do remember going kind of scanning through all of Helen's content and not really liking a good chunk of it along on the Katsuko side of things here. But for the most part, all this was actually quite enjoyable for me. I guess skimming through it all kind of just led me to not actually have tons of context for everything, and didn't really look good to me at least. But this was actually surprisingly wholesome, I think. And easily the favorite of stuff that's available for Helen. And there are other routes there, and one of them kind of branching off at the point after you end up becoming Gyoko's daughter, in which you, after some events, end up becoming a cyborg after nearly dying, in which you then kind of become an operative for Katsuko and doing jobs for her, considering, well, you're a fucking cyborg and you kind of need to do shit otherwise. So everything that was done to save your life was basically kind of giant waste of money for her. So, yeah. And overall, when it comes to Katsuko, despite how much content is available in this part of Helen's story, you don't really actually learn very much about Katsuko, considering you don't really have anything directly involving her throughout it all. So you don't really know if she's actually a good person or not, or if she's evil or whatever. Though personally, I don't really like her very much. With what's written in currency, considering, well, it's not really been anything there to show that she's actually good and everything. But yeah, that's all the stuff for Katsuko's side of stuff there. So the principal, what's doing that's the going his path there. You end up eventually getting to a choice of basically who to oversee out of the elite students, considering the principal wants you to kind of oversee some of the elite students, the ones that are very smart and everything, but of course have some kind of problems. In which you got two of them that you can really choose there besides doing paperwork, but which leads you to clubs that you can oversee. But there is the programming students basically there, in which that whole thing is actually quite interesting with what is currently written right there. And the overall concept of all that stuff is also pretty interesting. With the whole meme shifting thing, as it's called, on there. And then there's also the chemistry students, which, to be honest, I kind of think that's a bit obvious what kind of content is going to be available there, although there's not tons. But, yeah, you kind of end up getting to turned into a Fuda very quickly. That's basically everything for the school in Japan. So, yeah, the school in the United Kingdom basically teaches mages, pretty much. And your job there is to teach them normal stuff, I guess, so they can actually integrate into our normal society and everything. In which you also basically get the are able to punish the students however you want if they do something they're not supposed to do. And I mean anything you want to do as punishment, even for the smallest things. Yeah, and it's all purely because you're supposed to be able to teach them a lesson on what happens if they try and actually use their powers against someone that doesn't actually have magic and everything. So, yeah. Though you do have few restrictions, considering you can't really just kill them outright and everything, I guess, considering you're a student and everything. But, yeah. Not tons of contents there, of course, which is also the same for the school in New York, which is also kind of similar to the one in the UK, but instead of maid, which is kind of similar to the school in the UK, but instead of mages, you basically have superheroes, which I kind of would compare this school here to My Hero Academia a bit, but not exactly, I think. But yeah, still not tons of content available there. And the only stuff that's currently there basically is when you get there, you kind of get a choice in if you want to turn into a talent or not. Basically be a superhero or whatever at that point. But yeah, the UK school and the New York one, both of them barely have anything when even combined compared to the one in Japan. That's very clear, to be honest. Because the one in Japan has a lot of content. But yeah, managed to get through two characters this week. And there's only two more left in Devious World for me to go through. One more adult and one middle-aged character. And once I have both of those done, I'll have actually gone through literally everything in Devious World after well over a year going through it all. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the next two characters also don't have as much content as these two, so I should be able to easily finish them both within a week. It just depends on if I'm actually going to get that actually do it next week or not, considering I'm pretty sure it's supposed to have an update, which I kind of want to just cover that next week if it does. But yeah, that's basically everything I really have to talk about there, so I guess I'm kind of going to talk about just other stuff at this point. Starting off with the World War One scenario. That's a game I'm doing, making a series of currently. Yeah, just one episode so far, but yeah, I haven't recorded the next episode yet as of right now. Probably do that tomorrow or something, I don't really know. But yeah, currently I think I'll be able to win, but I'm also pretty sure this is going to be the first time where I think there's actually a possibility I will be able to lose. Kind of. Cause yeah, I've literally only gone through 20 turns. In the first episode, I spent 90 minutes playing that. And I'm currently losing the war. Though I think I should be able to turn things around and everything. But still, I actually think there's a possibility of me losing. Only other times I actually really have had a possibility of losing any of the series I've done is literally first episode, when I'm getting things started. And, and if a larger country just goes to war with me pretty early on that I can't fight against, which isn't very often. And I can easily just ignore and just restart, considering it's first episode. But, yeah. Hopefully things go well for that game. Also, another thing I kind of did this week is, yeah, I kind of been working on and off on a VTuber model for quite a while. When I say every now and then, I kind of mean like once every few months or something. But yeah, this week I kind of opened it to work on a bit more. I actually think I basically finished working on all the hair, considering previously I'd only really used an presets in V-Droid Studio and just edited the hair at the front of the face and everything to what I wanted it to be, and still end up getting that wrong considering I needed to flip it around considering I got it mixed up there. But yeah, got that fixed this week and also basically shortened all the rest of the hair on the back of the head. So yeah, I think it actually is pretty good at this point. Though it still looks pretty bland considering, well, clothes. I don't know exactly what to do when it comes to creating clothes for my model. Considering I'm literally basically making that VTuber model to look like me, pretty much. And, well, the clothes are basically just black shirts and mostly black pants that I kind of edited to kind of reflect the kind of pants I wear a little bit. And also my little bit of color scheme for my channel with the blue and red that I have, creating little stripes going down the sides of it using those colors. But, yeah, I think I made pretty good progress there, and I may actually be able to use it if I actually get around to doing that. Though I guess if I do that, I'll probably try and do some kind of VTuber debut, which I mean putting together stuff for that. Not like anyone would actually be able to be actually end up watching that thing really, I think, considering no one really watches me yet. No one even know about me doing the VTuber debut and everything, but whatever. I don't care. But yeah, once again, this week I also have not done any streams. Seriously, it kind of seems a bit normal at this point. It's like every other week I don't do streams because I get caught up doing other stuff. But then at the same time, every other week I do streams. I stream a few days those weeks. So I guess that means I'll probably do 2 or 3 streams next week, I guess. I don't really know. But it seems to be some kind of routine I got going on now, doing a few streams every other week. But yeah, I don't exactly have much else to talk about now, so yeah, that will be the end of this video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.